Hello, Internet, and welcome to Chariots of the Pods, your number one Stargate podcast on the Internet as of right now. It is I, Adam, your host, as always, and as always, joined by Tyler.
Salutations.
Also, as always, joined by Jason.
Yeah, I look forward to getting banished to the black hole.
And also, as always, our very, very special guest star is Justin.
Hello. I liked most of this batch, except for one thing, which brought the whole batch down. But we'll see.
You just
talk
really
about
hate
it.
America.
And
Whenever they go to that one clearing specifically to film, you know it's gonna be rough.
it was. We'll get to it, but it was the moment where I knew it was going to start being an issue was quite a little bit before that.
Yes. All right, so that gets us into it. We are today talking about season 2 of the Stargate SG-1, episodes 13 through 16. And so we're going to start off with episode 13, Spirits. Does anyone want to summarize this, or are you going to make me do it?
You're going
This
to
one's
do
a
it.
real
I'm going to
banger.
make you do it.
In this episode, SG-1 goes to a planet where another SG team, 11, I think, has
Correct.
been
Yeah.
trying to mine a new magic metal material from the rock quarry. Instead, they find a Native American tribe, Salish, I believe, and the spirits, as in the Native Americans and the nature spirits, but the nature spirits are actually aliens.
Yep.
They try to negotiate with the Native Americans in good faith. They say, no, don't blow up our mountain. And so it turns into bad faith. The spirits follow them back through the wormhole and start disappearing everyone in SGC. There's a standoff. Daniel's like, hey, how about you go back through the gate and just bury it if you can't trust us? And then everything resolves.
Yeah.
Oh no.
There's more that happens along the way, but that's
Yeah. Some other stuff happens along the way.
So basically, the correct way for Native Americans to deal with the United States government is to avoid contact at all costs.
Yeah, that would work out. Yeah.
Just cut them all.
Mhm.
Just cut us off.
I
Cut off.
thought it was to forearm bomb us out of existence.
Oh,
Well, no, that's what the spirits
that's the
quotation
spirits
marks
wanted to do.
And what if we
Yeah.
just killed all these people? What if we just killed all of these people?
Were they
Well, if we
killed
just
or
killed
just-
everyone.
Or just
Says-
transported somewhere?
So the one I don't like this episode, but the one, if I'm gonna compliment anything on it, I think the face makeup they have for the spirits when they finally reveal themselves as aliens, it's disgusting looking, but does look it's a pretty good prosthetic. It does not look pretty.
Face skills.
It looks gross. Yeah, the face gills and stuff, it looks gross, but in a way that I was like, yeah, that looks. I can't see the seams where the makeup ends and the human begins, but it looks pretty good in a gross body horror kind of way.
Mm-hmm. How did you like their outfits?
The outfits maybe less so.
Nice slippers is what I say.
Yeah.
You don't like weird sequin filled
looks-
clothing?
It looked very 60s, 70s cheap sci-fi. It looked like a
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica reject outfit.
Like
Original
Battlestar
Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, original.
Yeah.
Not even like Battlestar Galactica from the 80s?
No,
I
that's
said original.
not what was that, Earth 1980 or no?
Yeah, definitely the spin-off Battlestar Galactica that no one cares about.
But no, yeah, they're silver dresses and slippers and the face skills. The face skill makeup is similar to a high quality Voyager prosthetic job. So good on
Yeah.
them there.
Yeah, that looks good. Everything else about this episode is fucking terrible.
What, you didn't like the part where they're doing the debriefing about what they're going to do, and then the gate opens, and then O'Neill just gets freaking jacked in the arm immediately.
Yeah, from an
That's
arrow.
pretty good.
Nobody. Okay, so first off, we never find out who shot that arrow.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we
Who
do.
shot it? Yeah, well, I think at that point,
The
got
Ashton Kutcher Native American knockoff.
Yeah, Rodney A. Grant shot it. I guess he pulls a really strong bow. It turns out.
Yeah.
So much so that it goes through bulletproof glass.
Oh well, I guess I wasn't paying much. Well, I mean, I think the case was made that the arrow is strong enough to go through the bulletproof glass. It wasn't necessarily him being,
Yeah,
super incredible.
But if the trinium metal is that strong, how'd they remove the arrow without taking off O'Neill's? You know what? Never mind.
I mean,
the least of the problems.
Yeah,
So,
where that arrow pierced, it should have. O'Neill should have been at significant risk of losing that arm, and even if they did manage to get it out, like that bone would have taken a long time to heal, and it never would have healed correctly. That arm would not have been. He would have been. It would have been a point where the U.S. government would have been like, "All right, you're retired. Your arm's not useful anymore."
Yeah, I was about to say it's a good thing O'Neill didn't take that arrow to the knee.
Oh,
He had a walker for the rest of his life.
Had to fit that Skyrim joke in there at some point.
You really did it.
Used to be a space explorer like you.
Yeah. So it took a trillium arrow to my torso.
And
I don't know, they do a bad job of explaining of like what this trillium stuff is. They're just like, hey, this is better than metal, but like it's brittle.
Trinium, it's
trinium,
well,
it's
they say
it's stronger than titanium.
Yeah, so like purified metal, the purified trinium is supposed to be extremely light, but also extremely strong. Basically, a miracle metal. But when you get it when you first mine it up, it's
shale.
impure and it's brittle. Yeah, and you just gotta refine it into something
like
better.
That rock. It was just like a piece of granite or shale or something like that's. They're passing
just
around.
Crumbled in your hands.
Yeah, it crumbled in Teal'c's hands. So they go through the gate, and first off, here's a logic problem. Like when did they pick up these Native Americans and bring them to the planet?
More than 1,000 years ago, because the spirits say they drove off the Gould 1,000 years ago.
Okay.
We will encounter Earth cultures that are younger than, let's say, like 6,000, 7,000 years, 5,000 years.
Yeah, because ancient Egypt is a lot older than Native American
than the Salish
cultures.
Native Americans. Yeah. Again, we will see more of this, and they will find an excuse for it.
Okay. All right. So what was the first moment where you thought this episode was going to be a problem? I guess everybody else has seen it before.
The first time the Native Americans show up, it's like, oh no.
Yeah, pretty much immediately when they show up.
Yeah.
So even before then, when they see like a totem, which is a problem.
Oh, but right, yeah.
A little bit before that, though, you can hear off in the distance like some very extremely stereotypical, like racist Looney Tunes cartoon Indian chanting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that was when I was like, oh no.
Yeah. And then the wolf spirits kind of like
going around.
Yeah.
That was a good puppy.
Sure. I have a note here. How like that totem pole, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure if it was the totem pole or if it was another thing that had like the warnings where it showed like a Jaffa.
That was a totem pole.
Okay,
yeah.
That looked like it was made by like a 5-year-old, right?
Uh-huh.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, it was a cheap ass prop.
Like that prop looked horrible.
Not a great prop, which I guess is a good thing that it only showed up in that one scene.
Yeah, then they all get darted and then taken away.
Well, actually, Teal got darted twice. They put 2 on him.
Yeah,
that's true.
Once the Native Americans actually show up, which is mostly just Todane, he's an idiot. Like, they do not choose a good representative for
Yeah, and so
Native Americans.
growing up, when I watched this episode, I just assumed for half the episode he was just fucking with them.
That's what I thought for a little while. For like when I watched it a couple days ago, that was my thought. Was like this has got to be a thing where he's just fucking with him. He's pretending to be an idiot. And he's gonna pull the rug from under him. No, he's genuinely as stupid as he appears right at the beginning.
Yeah.
I think the actor was trying to go for him being chill.
Yeah, but I don't.
He had this stoner vibe going on,
like unbothered.
Yeah, he does have a stoner vibe going on. That's he wouldn't look out of place in like a backwards cat or something.
I mean, yeah.
He could have shown up in an episode of That 70s Show, and everyone was like, yeah, he's just always been there.
None of the other Native American characters that they show are any better.
I mean, not
they
necessarily.
don't show many.
The other ones they only show like the
They-
one guard and then like the elders who are. I mean, aside from wearing their weird tinfoil like hats, like which by the way look really freaking dumb. More or less just seem like stereotypical Native American portrayals in media. But like this guy, like it's like he's doing either a Cheech or Chong impression. He can't figure out which one to do.
Yeah. Well, at least, I mean, this is spoiling the next episode, but at least they got actual Native American actors.
Yeah,
for these
that's
characters.
True. That's true.
Oh boy.
Which is, we haven't gotten there yet, but it's funny that you get it twice in a row. Just rapid fire, bop bop. Here's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I don't know. I feel like this episode's the worst of the bunch, but there are parts of it that I think are funny.
By far, yeah.
Yeah. This might be the worst episode of this season so far.
Yeah.
So it's a callback to Emancipation, but without the gender politics.
No, this is worse than Emancipation.
Yeah, this is worse than Emancipation.
I mean, it's more racist than Emancipation.
It's less funny.
It's less funny.
Yeah, there's no like we traded this woman for a gun, which kind of fucked up, but very funny.
Well, but there is a very happy wolf dog. Wolf is that a dog pretending to be a wolf, or is that like?
I'm pretty sure that's just like a mutt husky.
I think that's a husky.
That's a husky. So there's a very happy puppy wandering around this episode.
So the show notes actually address this. That is actually a husky, but in like one or two of the scenes, they actually tied down the tail with like a fish wire. Like, because if you look at a wolf in nature, its tail is always down, but a husky tail like curls.
Mm-hmm.
So they couldn't afford a real wolf, so they brought in somebody's husky.
Okay. Well, it's a very happy husky.
Yeah, it's a good boy or girl.
Yeah.
It's a good doggo.
Let me bring this up.
So there's the arrow gimmick, which was fun. There's the happy dog.
Yeah, the happy dogs
are good.
Yeah.
So it's higher. The production's higher quality in this episode than in Emancipation.
I guess, but the story isn't written very well. Like I don't even know what it's like. There's no moral at the end of the story. Like it just a bunch of shit happens, and then you're back to
that you can't trust.
They set it up
government around indigenous people.
Yeah, they set it up. They set it up like they're going to try to comment on the American government taking the lands of indigenous people, because they're halfway through it. They're in a room, and Hammond is basically saying our superiors are telling us that we're going to send some people in and take the trinium.
Mine it anyway.
Mine it anyway, regardless of how the Native Americans feel. And O'Neill is like, no, we can't do that. That's shitty. Because O'Neill is the protagonist and has to be a good guy. And they don't. It doesn't go any further than that. Like the resolution after one of the spirits who are shapeshifters, by the way. is in the room with them, posing as a member of the recently rescued,
Connors
supposedly
from
SG-11.
First Commandment. That's
Yes.
Connors
Huh?
again. That's
Mhm.
Connors.
Yeah,
Everyone knows Connors.
yeah, yeah. But it's not actually him. It's a spirit posing as him. He overhears the conversation, and then they just start raiding the base. And the way they attack people is they slap their inner arms together, and whoever they're looking
they
at
put their arms
disappears.
up, like in front of them.
Yeah,
The
like
forearm
vertical,
part.
and then they kind of like move them together and and to like just like bounce the, or I guess hit the forearms against each other, and that makes people disappear.
It's the forearm ball.
It's real dumb, I think.
It's
they're not
like
interested
when
in explaining any of these powers that these.
Yeah, it
aliens
does not
have.
get explained. I chalk it up to space magic, or technology so advanced it appears to be magic.
So when Thanos snaps people out of existence, it's cool, but when the fish-faced people forearm people...
I was going to say it's more like Q from Star Trek, because Q will snap his fingers and then anything happens, things like flash in and out of existence.
Yeah.
So they have Q powers, essentially.
Sure, but like that's an extreme power escalation to just bring in. As far as the Thanos comparison goes, Thanos' powers are explained by, super stones from the beginning of the universe, something. He has to go on a big
5-minute episode.
Depends on the version of Thanos. Sometimes he just wants to fuck death.
Oh, I mean, who doesn't?
That's the comic. That's the comic book version.
Yeah.
But yeah, like these spirits are more like the godlike beings that Kirk and Spock ran into in like the original series Star Trek. Where it's there's some random aliens that have like like space magic and have the power of gods, and we're just gonna meet them and then leave.
Yeah.
So this is like an original series episode, because the way that Star Trek has handled Native Americans cross series has also been lackluster. Let's say 4. That next generation. So is this episode better or worse than the Next Generation episode where Picard goes and evicts a bunch of Native American colonists from a planet?
Are you telling me that Star Trek's
How about the time he did it in a movie?
You tell me that Star Trek's benevolent explorer tone maybe needs to be re-examined?
DS9 did that already, but yeah.
Plus, like the newer Star Treks are all like grimdark anyways, so like I don't think they care about any of this shit anymore.
No.
So the way that after going on a rampage, basically on a rampage through the base, O'Neill encounters the spirits as they're trying to leave through the Stargate, and
he runs into the head spirit, like him, Teal'c, and Carter.
There's some setup to get to this point, but basically it boils down to the spirits are like, why would we let all your people go? We can't trust you. And O'Neill is like, you don't have to trust me. Just let my people go and then bury the Stargate on the other side. And they're like, all right. And that's the solution to the episode.
Yeah.
And we've already brought this up once, but like now that we have clearer context, I laughed like pretty hard at this. And just, I can't believe that's the solution here.
I mean, it's the obvious solution, and it's the solution this episode presents.
It is, but like, if these people did not need the Stargate at all, if these spirits didn't need it, and they didn't want it, why didn't they bury it 900 years ago?
I guess no one came through after they got rid of the Goulds.
Honestly, I have a better solution. They're a bunch of idiots.
And I mean, like the actual people on that planet lived like migrated pretty far away from the gate, so it was just this big thing out in the wilderness that no one used and nothing happened with. So it's easy to forget about.
I mean, there's a totem pole next to it, so they couldn't have forgotten about it too much.
It's like a few miles from it,
I guess. I don't know. I mean, this episode's just. I don't know, it feels like brain dead is the right way of putting it.
Thoughtless.
It's yet another episode that comes across to me like someone wanted to tackle something, but then realized they didn't have either the time or the talent to tackle the theme they brought up, but also didn't have time to rewrite the episode.
Yeah, or maybe even just like the lead actor that they got to play the Native American was just not interested in doing anything, and he was just like, "Hey, what if I like was just this stoner dude?" Like, I don't know.
He's also a terrible actor.
So he's been in other stuff, and he's I mean, everything I find about him like has him being well considered for his other work. So maybe he just really didn't give a shit.
Maybe he read this script after signing up for it or something, and then he was like, "Oh no, I don't actually want to do this much."
Well, I doubt they gave him like much different direction to be like, no, this is all really like, you know, when you say like stop mining, and the guy's like, well, we got to deal with this, and he's like, all right, and then I said yeah, and then they got disappeared. Like there's not much to work with there, you know. Like everything this guy says, you're right. It seems like at the beginning that like he's like leading them on and trying to be like mystic or something, or like, oh, you know, no, the spirits will actually. But it's like no, he's very matter of fact. He's like a lost child. Specifically when he's at the SG base, like he acts like a lost child, and it's honestly just sad to watch.
Okay, so I'm looking at this. I'm looking at his Wikipedia page. Rodney Grant. He was in an episode of a of a '90s TV show called Legend, and guess who the main character of this show was? Played by Richard Dean Anderson.
Oh, hey, how about that?
I don't even know what Legend is.
It was a short-lived Western show.
Yeah, it's like it's one season.
John Delancey's in it. Yeah, like 12 episodes or something.
I'm now looking at a picture of Richard Dean Anderson with the mustache, and I hate it.
But yeah, I don't want to like besmirch this actor.
No, I don't think it's his fault or anything. Like I just like this character is an idiot, and if that's what they were going for, and then let me tell you, he played it to a T. But I don't know what else to say about that. Like he runs around like saying things that make him seem like he has no understanding of what's actually going on around him, and then everything he does past his introduction just keeps reinforcing that.
Yeah, if I don't have much to say about this episode other than my notes that we go to the rock quarry again briefly. If we had stayed in the rock quarry, this would have been a better episode. Nothing bad ever happens in the rock quarry.
That's not entirely true, but sure.
And it's also the first episode where Carter is in charge of the team.
Yeah, and you know things go very badly, unfortunately, for her.
Oh well, no, I mean, they like no one gets shot. They make contact. They like peacefully, you know, come back with someone. Like I think she did.
It just turns out they came back with a bunch of aliens that were going to wipe out the entire base.
To be fair, those aliens when they're first SG-11 did at least the Connors maintain kayfabe real well.
Yeah, until the point where they started eating people. Yes.
You see,
so these guys are hypocrites, right? The aliens.
I guess so.
They talk about how like you were deceiving us and all this stuff, but like they've spent their entire 1,000 years with these people, deceiving them, pretending to be spirits.
They sort of touch on that. That's kind of the point. They sort of touch on that a bit.
They don't touch on it enough.
They don't touch on anything.
Yeah, they don't touch on any of the themes brought enough. Like Adam said, I don't think there's much more to say here.
Other than tritium is brought up whenever they need a magic metal to make things out of.
What was that?
Yeah. I'm not sure what that was.
Yeah.
It was the tritium mines screeching in the distance.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Don't worry about that. I'll fix it in post.
Okay. Sure you will. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I would say we could easily move on in this episode. This is very much like an episode of the week. Like we dumped something out. It wasn't the best, but I've seen worse, like on television, but maybe not on this show.
Yeah, I mean,
I've seen episodes of Andromeda. This wasn't that.
Yeah, The only thing of note is this is the second bipedal, like, fish people that we've seen that we will never see again, and SG Command will never reach out to in the future.
Also, socially awkward.
Yes. As it turns out, all the fish people are socially awkward.
Okay, so are we ready to move on?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, well, speaking of cultures that they probably shouldn't try to represent, whatever. All right, so next episode is a Touchstone. Does anyone want to give this one a go?
I mean, this one on paper, when you describe it, actually sounds like way better, but it essentially boils down to SG-1 found a planet that has a device that can control the weather. They go back to that planet, find out it's been stolen, and then the rest of the episode is them trying to figure out how to get that touchstone back so that planet doesn't die. It just so happens that this planet happens to be natives as well.
To be Polynesian themed. I'll say themed because everyone. There's a bunch of white actors dressed up in their typical Polynesian outfits.
Yes.
Like it's a '60s Godzilla movie, something, or like King Kong. Yeah.
But to be fair, like in this episode, it feels like they weren't the focus of it. Like it's just
they weren't. No, it's like three scenes they're in.
Yeah, when they show up, they're like, "You stole our shit." They're like, "No, we didn't." And then they show up later and like, "You got our shit?" And we're like, "No, we don't." And then in the last scene, they're like, "Do you got our shit?" And they're like, "Yes, we do." And like, hooray!
They probably just said, "Oh, we have all these costumes left over from the previous episode. Let's just reuse those."
No, different costumes.
Different costumes. Different type of American culture. I think this one's more South American themed, right?
No, it's Polynesian.
Oh, Polynesian. Okay.
Yeah,
I wasn't paying a ton of attention to. Again, they don't play much of a role in this episode.
Yeah, aside from being like the stakes, really.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, even then, I think there are at least bigger stakes for the characters we as an audience really care about. Like the bigger stake is where is the second Stargate and who is trying to control it.
Yeah, I mean, they made it very obvious. I think at one point they hinted that, was it in the previous episode or like one of the episodes before it, where they hinted that Mayborn was in charge of something?
Yeah, that Mayborn's probably the one where Teal almost turns into bugs.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, actually, which they referenced in this episode, which
doesn't when Teal sees him, he says, "In my culture, be within my
I'll be within
my rights to rip off your arms or something."
No,
dismember. Basically, I'd be allowed to eviscerate you.
No, dismember.
Specifically dismember?
Yes, it's dismember.
I wrote down
that bit's really good. Quote. I like it.
Yeah, it's just really good. Like he gets right up to him, and Mayborn kind of freaks out for a second. And that was a real good moment.
Yeah. Which, he kind of deserves it. He's kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah, he sucks. He's a bad guy. So the main crux of the episode is that the sketchy military intelligence guys who've been hounding them for technology for the last season and a half went and did some scroll stuff with the second Stargate from Antarctica and like stole some shit.
Yes.
And did not get away.
One of the items being the Touchstone.
Yeah.
Which, let me tell you, I like this plot. This plot's good, and I think it's handled well.
Yeah. This is the first on Earth skullduggery episode.
Yeah,
which is
I feel like they should have done this is a much more enjoyable time than random Native American encounter, which this episode could have easily just devolved into that as we saw in the beginning, but thankfully it didn't.
So this episode, this season in general has done something that I'm pretty happy about. Is they still do this sometimes, but they spent a lot more time not just being in a random Canadian forest.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a random Canadian university campus.
Yeah.
Sure, but that's still more interesting than every episode being the same forest, essentially.
Or warehouses.
Yeah. Warehouses.
I don't know, because this is technically a warehouse episode.
This is a warehouse. There's so many warehouses in this episode.
They do wind up in some warehouses.
There's at least 2 or 3 warehouses here. It's pretty good.
Yeah. And another point, I felt like the pacing of this episode it just moves along really smoothly, and it does a good job of keeping you involved. Like, there wasn't too many points where I nodded off and lost interest.
Yeah, no, it keeps you going. There's a core mystery that's set up immediately, and then they spend the entire episode resolving that mystery.
Yeah, I did think that the weather control device being a small handheld thing was a little much. But also I've pretty much accepted that this show is space magic at this point, more so than anything. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to wonder, what were they even planning to do with that?
It seems
like a useful thing.
I assume their caveman brains basically thought of it as a giant club.
Yeah, no, it's the military, so they're going to try to turn it into a weapon.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, use it to
a proverbial club instead of a literal club.
We'll melt their polar ice caps.
Yeah, where I guess the Polynesians were just using it to say hey, we feel like our crops need some rain, so we're going to do this, and it rains now or something.
Yeah, I think at the beginning they justify it all by saying, yeah, some aliens terraformed this planet 1,000 years ago or something, and brought some Polynesians to it for some reason, and then left. And they left this device with the humans.
But it's not even important. It's not really important what it is. It's a MacGuffin. The main plot is somebody stole our second Stargate, and we need to know who and why.
Yeah, but there is a fun bit where they cut to the Weather Channel, and it's someone flooded Phoenix. Albuquerque seeing record rainfall. Because these assholes are just messing with this MacGuffin, causing weird weather events.
Yeah, they were just whoops.
Yeah, pretty much.
By the way, where did they, when they eventually did track this down? I'm trying to remember. Was it Utah?
Yeah, a Black Ops airstrip in southern Utah. For some reason.
Yeah. Which, once again, amazingly just looks like, a random air hangar in Vancouver, but sure.
I mean, everything looks like Vancouver if you look hard enough.
That's true, yeah.
Entirety of North America.
So actually, how did you guys like their plan? I feel like this was a lot of this episode is really smart because it does a lot of real cool callbacks. I mean, specifically to the one episode, but at the same time, their plan to figure out how to get to that Stargate, I think, is very clever.
Yeah, they're actually using their own lore to do things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sam kind of had a big brain moment from
which, I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Well, yeah. So it was the so for the viewer, it was going back to the episode where Sam and Carter, as they were coming back to Earth, the Stargate got hit by a blast of energy and they got sent to a different Stargate. So they basically pulled the same trick again with the probe, and when they send the probe through, they had it broadcast its GPS signal or something, and that's how they figured out, this second site or second Stargate is somewhere in southern Utah. So the fact that we have a little bit of continuity in the show is being true to its own lore, and Carter being the brains of the operation, figuring this out, it felt well written, felt like it was true to previous episodes. So yeah, I really appreciated that.
Mm-hmm. Then sure, it seemed like a bit of a cheap-ish firefight that they had at the end with those guys, but still a cool scene,
Yeah. So, if you're giving the order not to kill anybody, why wouldn't everybody just run in there with zap guns? Jack goes in there with an MP5 and starts shooting at a guy despite not getting shot at.
Well, no, he wasn't shooting at the guy. He was shooting at the ground to make the guy not pick up the box.
Yeah, but Hammond gave him strict orders not to shoot unless you're shot upon. But again, if you had a Zach gun, you just stun him and nobody gets away. So I thought that part was a bit odd. Because
Which
you
I
know
guess
they have
goes back
Zach
to
guns, right? When they
that goes back to the criticism where the Zach guns are too useful. So then, when they're not being used, like why are the Zach guns being used?
yeah.
I like to think that they only have the one, and Teal'c's just like, no, it stays with me.
Only my Jaffa can activate it.
So then, why doesn't Teal'c just zat everyone immediately?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he'd be up for it. He's a pretty good shot with those things too. So
Yeah, they never seem to miss.
Well, not yet.
Where do those guys go when they leave? They jump into Stargate.
You'll find
yeah,
out.
yeah, I'm sure we'll find out eventually. But like, I guess the implication is like they're not on Earth.
No, they had a place that they could bug out to. They bugged out.
Yeah, so like they've clearly whoever this faction of the government is.
The
'cause
NID.
this is- oh, okay. It is just straight up the NID.
Yeah.
Okay, so that they've basically created some sort of like bug out base on another planet.
Yeah,
That's a good line of thought, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know this episode's like vastly better than the last one. It's not the best episode I've seen, but I liked it.
So my question is earlier in the episode when the gang is confronting Mayborn and being like trying to get the truth out of him, does Mayborn actually know what's going on and he's just playing dumb, or was he like actually tricked and he didn't honestly know that the Stargate that was in the box at that Area 51 base was made of plastic?
They do a good job of keeping that ambiguous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they don't want to make it obvious at the very least.
Also, my note for when they find the fake Stargate at Area 51, where like I think Carter knocks on it and says it's plastic. My note here is it's actually fiberglass.
Her hands just really itchy afterwards.
Yeah. Which that's a fun gag to put the actual prop in the box and then have the actors treat it like it's a fake prop. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like the fact that as they're walking through that base, they show us a brief glimpse of the death gliders that they commandeered from the Gould back in like episodes like 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it feels like now they're more concerned with continuity and bringing up things they did in previous episodes.
Yeah, they're starting to structure their lore and pay attention to it in the episode writing.
And being like right now, you know, they're just giving us glimpses, but they're allowing themselves to expand in future seasons.
Yeah, because what they do here is the real strength of this show is caring about its own internal caring more about its internal consistency than other sci-fi shows of the era. Yeah. So having all the stuff they're bringing back go into Area 51, and yeah, there's people working on it and acknowledging that and calling back to things, and having characters having like lived through the events that they lived through was novel for the time, because it's basically just like DS9 and Babylon 5 did that, and then Stargate. But Stargate is more fun than those shows. Shows like you get pretty serious, don't know how to have fun.
I mean, DS9 had fun every once in a while, but
they shouldn't have.
They shouldn't have. They're not allowed to have fun.
The filler episodes in DS9 tend to be abysmal, but yeah, no, that baseball episode, it's no JJK baseball episode, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
But yeah, boy, but no, like Stargate has a lot more fun than those other shows, because O'Neill is always cracking wise, right? Like,
Yeah,
they're having
that's
fun
true.
with it. And while still maintaining internal consistency, eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And who doesn't love a good spy thriller, man?
Yeah, I mean, they don't really go full spy thriller in this, but like, it's definitely, there's definitely political subterfuge going on, which I'm all for.
Yeah, right.
Which I guess, did we get
So-
introduced? Is that government guy that Hammond talked to? Has he come up again? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
No,
Because he owed Hammond that one favor.
And
Just
then
the
we
one
never
favor.
heard from him again.
But at least Hammond actually did something this episode. I think like in past podcasts we talked about how useless Hammond is as a military commander, but it seems like he actually does have like a good network of connections that he can call upon when he needs them.
Yeah,
Is that
definitely.
is that guy a reference to something? Because I was thinking, is he just like a reference to some other show?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, I'm not super sure on that, but I mean, in the end, they get back the Touchstone, right?
Yep.
And then I guess the implication is that this is more or less. It's not like this is swept under the rug. They're like, no, like we have the Stargate and we're keeping it under lock and key, and we're going to guard it the whole time, and nothing bad is ever going to happen again. Everything's going to be cool.
Famous last words.
Yeah, but doesn't I mean, if you think about that, that essentially means that like those people that basically pieced out to another planet, they have no way to get back to Earth.
So far that we know of. Yes.
That we know of, yes. I'm just trying to think logistically how would they even do that, but I can't remember how this gets resolved. I know it does eventually get brought up again, but
Yeah, they explain it when they come back to it. I guess it's just mysterious at this point. The vague yet menacing government agency has been stymied this time, but they're still out there.
yeah.
And
Which I guess that Mayborn does allude to that at the end. I think he gets the last line in this episode, right?
Yeah, he gets the last laugh over O'Neill, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's like, yeah, we're going to keep finding ways to do stuff, and you can't stop us.
Yeah,
Basically.
which I guess at one point they bring up, like, I think this is where they bring up that material, right? From the previous episode, saying that like we're gonna weld the iris shut.
Oh yeah, a trinium alloy over the second Stargate.
Which, good thing they had enough, I guess.
I always thought it was interesting how in Stargate, the evil part of the government is like the civilian intelligence agency, and the good part of the government is the military, which is the exact opposite of the X-Files, which was a contemporary show with Stargate.
Well,
I always found that interesting.
It's like any cop movie where the beat cops are always kind of the good guys, and the federal agents or FBI are always the dickheads. And then,
but in X-Files, it's the FBI who are the good guys, and the vague military industrial complex who are the villains.
Yeah. So I guess it's all just a matter of perspective.
Yeah, again, I just always found it interesting that both these shows were doing that at the same time. Just everyone's pointing fingers at everyone else, I guess, for the evils of the U.S. government. There's a fun line towards the beginning when they're first trying to figure out how to find the Touchstone, the MacGuffin.
Mm-hmm.
And Daniel says, "Have you seen the Weather Channel?" And O'Neill says he's more of a C-SPAN guy. Just a weird '90s thing there. But then also,
no one's actually a C-SPAN guy.
No one's actually in the '90s, maybe, because that was novel. But when when Carter figures out that the NID guys were using the scheduled gate travel from the SGC to like do their stuff in the background in order to like avoid detection, O'Neill makes an analogy to shooting a gun when a train's passing by, And everyone just kind of looks at him. He's like, "What?" And so you hide the sound of the gunfire. It's obvious, right?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Really, no need to look at him weirdly that way. So
Yeah, but I mean, that's also probably a call back to him just being a former special ops, like wet works guy, and everyone's like, "What?" Like caught off guard when he makes those like hardcore comparisons,
Yeah. I mean,
like
the movie
like in the
Enemy,
prison episode.
the Enemy at the Gate movie hasn't happened yet, so there's no timing your shots to artillery rounds in the distance yet, right?
Right? Yes, that's not that established of a trope yet.
Exactly.
But it's always fun when O'Neill brings up like just his spec op shit, and everyone just kind of like is reminded of that. It's like, oh right, you've done stuff in East Germany, right? That's fun. Also, when they send the probe through to find the warehouse where the gate's been taken, guy just shoots the probe. They killed the probe with a gun.
mm-hmm.
Damn clanker.
I don't know how shooting it would have deactivated the GPS, but still, that's brutal.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, "Oh fuck, something's here! Shoot it!"
Yeah, just like point blank, like you put two into the probe.
Mm-hmm. At the same time, like they really should have been out of there sooner, since they knew someone. Like, so they had to have known something was onto them, right?
Yeah, I mean that's why they're packing up and leaving, but they're taking their time with it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what they left with? Because for all intents and purposes, they've been doing this for months, right?
Yeah, and also
so
maybe
the thing they didn't make it out with is the Touchstone.
Yeah, which that's convenient. But I guess maybe they had already put through most of their stuff somewhere else. Those four guys were just the guys who were supposed to get the gate onto the plane. Which I don't know how those four guys were supposed to get that gate onto that plane, but I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
because
Maybe it was on
weren't
wheels.
any like just put it on wheels and roll it on.
Yeah,
yeah.
Put
How
it
do
on
you
the
the
trucks.
orientation that they had this in? Do you think that's a smart way to have your gate?
I mean, when you're transporting it, you kind of have to just lay it down. But also, they didn't have any forklifts or anything. They don't. I don't know how they're going to move that.
Yeah, like it seems fine for like entering the gates. You might just have like a real sore back, but like exiting the gate seems like a real problem.
Oh yeah, you do not want to exit through a gate that is laying up like that. You will go back down into it.
Yeah, doesn't that just kill you?
That does just kill you. That gets brought up eventually.
You know, now that I think about it, as these guys are packing up, the MacGuffin is like in the box sitting by the Stargate. It's like if the object is small enough to go in a suitcase and be transported, wouldn't you have already have moved it? I mean, why wait to move it with the giant ass Stargate?
Maybe because they knew that the SGC was onto them because of this one specific thing. Maybe they kept that around, on purpose for that to get caught and to get the SGC off their backs.
It could be possible.
The one nerd guy of the group just be like, hey, if the SGC comes around, I want to hit them with like a lightning bolt. I want to go full storm on them.
Sure.
But yeah, that's all I have for this episode. Anyone else?
Yeah, I mean, as it turns out, I don't have too much to say. Just like other than like, hey, this is a clever episode that I think is much better than the previous episode.
Yeah, it's all.
I actually enjoyed this episode. I would watch it again if I ever do a rewatch in the future.
I also did enjoy it. Is this the first? This isn't the first time we've seen O'Neill with a backwards cap, is it?
No, he's done that before. Whenever he has to look through the scope, he does it a lot.
He does seem to always be wearing a hat this season, though.
He's always wearing a hat, and when he looks through something, he turns it around.
Yeah. So I noticed this season he stopped dyeing his hair, and the gray is starting to show through. So I'm wondering if he's just trying to cover it up more.
You know, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So, like, if you go back to season 1, his hair is a lot darker than it is this season.
Right, because he was dyeing it. Okay, yeah. All right. So is everyone gonna move on?
Sure.
Yep.
Okay. So we're now on to season 2, episode the 15th, the 5th race. In this episode, they go to a planet that's a room. O'Neill gets his head stuck in a thing that blasts some information into his head. He starts speaking vulgar Latin, or Latin Vulgate, you could say. They find out a bunch of lore. A bunch of lore happens. O'Neill gets all the stuff dumped from his brain by the Asgard, and then they move on with their lives.
That's a pretty good summary.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so the ancients.
Yeah. I guess they just leave computers around that if you look into them like one of those viewfinders, it just blasts you with knowledge.
I guess so.
Which, unfortunate for O'Neill here.
Hey,
yeah, and the thing is, I don't blame him too much for sticking his head in there because Teal'c did it first and it was fine.
Yeah. Before that,
just seems like a bad idea.
One of the things that happens before that is a funny thing that I wanted to bring up. They walk into this room, and all the other 3 characters say something about say some smart observation about where they are, and Richard Dean or Colonel O'Neill looks at a wall, and he said, "I found a wall," in like his really sarcastic voice, and I don't know. I thought that was funny.
The walls are solid.
Yeah, the walls are solid is what he says.
Yeah, which the logistics of this room, what's even going on here? It's straight up just a Stargate that when you dial into it is just a room that happens to have a computer that brain blasts you.
The ancients made it there beyond our comprehension.
Yeah, I'm just surprised. Is this also just on the edge of a cliff somewhere?
Or it's just floating in space, or it's
I would say it could be
a moon.
It could be floating in space. It could be in the core of a planet. We don't know.
I guess we never really find out.
It could be in Vancouver, Canada,
or could be in a soundstage in Canada.
Yeah, probably. There are plenty of those.
Just wait till season 10. But yeah. So don't think about the planet. It's not important. What is important is that O'Neill gets brain blasted.
Yeah, and the majority of this episode is just him slowly becoming more and more, basically losing his ability to speak.
It's like the alien information is sort of. It's like the alien information is sort of taking over his brain.
Yeah, but thankfully it's pointing him in a direction to save himself.
Yeah,
which is convenient.
I do. This episode does bring up a trope that I don't think they shouldn't have brought up, and B, doesn't really help further the plot. They bring up the idea that the human brain only uses 5 to 10% of its capacity.
Oh yeah.
Is it true?
That's not how that works.
It's not. Yeah, it's.
Is this where we put in the "what if we used 100% of the brain" meme, and then just look at the person angrily?
Yeah, and then it turns out you just speak Vulgate Latin. Use 100% of your brain, and do some tinkering with weird machinery. But
the spare parts you find around a military base
to build
actually, here's a question for you all: how did you like because I feel like they tried to do a slow build up to have people realize that something's definitely wrong with O'Neill, but I feel instead of it being slow, it was just immediate.
Yeah, I mean, everyone should be used to by now that if someone starts acting a bit off, it's okay, something happened.
Yeah.
But no, I know plenty of people that will drop Latin phrases mid-sentence.
I feel like the biggest giveaway is that he wasn't just being snarky and giving shitbag comments the entire time. So the moment he is not essentially making during a debriefing, I would be oh, bro, you need to check out the medical officer like right now.
It's like, something's wrong with O'Neill. He's not being an asshole.
Yeah. Well, probably the hard stop moment is when you see him approaching a whiteboard and start doing bullshit, crazy base 8 math with like proofs and shit.
I think by then they knew something was wrong, or knew something was up.
Yeah,
because he's confined to base after dropping a weird word in the debriefing. Hamilton's immediately like, "Hey, don't leave." And then there's that fun sparring scene with Teal'c, which Teal'c has to know how to spar, right?
He must not have had some sort of hand-to-hand combat growing up.
Like Braytag had to, because in the family episode, Braytag was training Ryak and like knock his teeth out. So Teal'c knows how to spar. Teal'c knows what sparring is. It's just like boxing. The discipline is different, but he knows what sparring is. Come on.
Yeah, but what if he just beat him up?
Oh yeah, there's that.
It feels like just like a throwaway scene that they did. I don't mind it being there because it's a little fun.
Yeah, no, it's fun. Like that's.
Yeah, Teal'c has a good quote in the middle of that. Anytime you get a Teal'c quote, it's worth it. It's I do not understand, O'Neill. Are we preparing to dance or to do battle?
Huh.
Yeah,
I like it. It's not top tier Teal'c quote, but it's good.
Does that mean like the Jaffa just put on headgear whenever they go dancing? Is that what that means?
No, because O'Neill was saying they have to like move your feet around when you're boxing. He's like, it's like you gotta dance a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a boxing lingo.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
a
Teal'c
boxing
is just naturally confused because he doesn't understand any human references.
Yeah, so it's in that genre of scene where O'Neill tries to expose Teal'c to American culture, and Teal'c just being confused. But then also O'Neill's all padded up, and Teal'c isn't, and there's that fun gag there. But yeah, so then they go see Daniel. That's when the base 8 math happens, and Daniel's like, "Oh, is that Latin he's speaking? Like medieval Latin, I think he's saying, which that's just vulgar Latin. That's like Latin when everyone forgot how to speak Latin."
Yeah.
So I don't know why the ancients would be speaking it, but whatever.
I mean, it's fine. It's just kind of one of the things that they do. I think it's real weird that like at this point it's very obvious that something's wrong, and yet somehow he's still able to get into the gate room basically unnoticed and starts inputting a bunch of information.
Oh god, imagine if the ancients were just like they were like Roman based, and then at some point they come back in the series and just try to conquer the world again.
I mean, you do that. At least they did better with the ancients eventually. I guess the really important takeaway here is that O'Neill dumps a bunch of new coordinates into the computer.
Yeah. Speaking of which, can you hack in machine code? Is that a thing?
Maybe the ancients can do it.
No. You can't just pull up an IDE and punch in a bunch of machine code.
Okay.
With that attitude, you can't.
That's what I thought.
Look, in this episode and next episode, everything that they do with computers is wrong. just putting that out there. Like a very loud incorrect buzzer every time they do computers.
Also, that wasn't machine code. That was just zeros and ones. Machine code is a bunch of hexadecimal A through F and 0 through 9 stuff.
See, this is why we have an actual IT person on the podcast.
They don't know what any of those words mean.
Well, the ancients did base 8 math, so maybe they didn't know what hexadecimal.
Yeah, maybe.
But the
how'd you guys
part
like
is
the whole bit where like that program's running and it's just like, I think like the different chevrons start locking. You're like, what the hell? There's more than, what was it, 6 usually?
7. Yes, there is an 8th chevron. This is the first time we see an 8th chevron, which is the area code for the galaxies.
mean, that was kind of cool.
Because Stargate has area codes.
I mean, you have to have area codes.
Yeah, and that's what the H chevron is. But it takes a lot more power than they're able to put out.
But to go back to the computer scene, there's quite a bit wrong with that. You can't just punch in machine code. I mean, there's also no way he would have, even with like hyper advanced technology, he wouldn't have known the machine code for whatever processor architecture that is.
For like Windows 98.
Well, no, for like if it's x86 or RISC or whatever.
Hey, if
listen.
the U.S. Air Force had Apple instead of Windows, their systems never would get hacked, right?
I guess.
No.
I'm pretty sure this is all
That's
just
not-
space magic bullshit. It doesn't matter.
That's what it is. It is space magic bullshit. I don't actually care. But he was asking.
But yeah, so that's funny. His little power generator is also funny.
Yeah, when it's first introduced and he's just kind of staring at this like undescribable like object that just kind of looks like a shitty LED light. He's like, I need this.
That's pretty good.
It was clearly a Christmas light, right?
I mean, it was just like a flashlight inside of a box, wasn't it?
To me, it looked like just a neon green Christmas light that you'd like take off like a window candle. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah. But I guess all of these, I was gonna say all of these new like codes that they've found, right? This leads to them checking out some other locations that they think are linked to this first location, right?
Yeah. Well, so I mean, yeah, they go to the one planet and have a whoopsie.
Yeah, because that's like
yeah,
it's like the small B plot that happens. Just like, hey, we teleport to a planet that we're all gonna die in.
Yeah, it turns out there's another star. That's why it's all a desert, and it's going to be 200 degrees Fahrenheit at midday, and the gate seized up for some reason. So we're all just going to die here. And then O'Neill sends through some blueprint schematics of like how to rewire the DHD or something, or how to reset the DHD.
Which that whole
basically
like scene where Jackson tells him this, and then he just seems kind of like, it seems like he's more annoyed than anything. Where he just like writes down something on English. At this point, he's no longer able to speak, but he's still able to write in English. He basically just writes down like "leave, I'm gonna fix it" or something, and he just hands them the blueprints to the DHD.
Yeah, it's like here. I'm like, here's where the here's the power button is. Just turn it off back on again.
Yeah, essentially him becoming like the tech support person you have to call when you can't figure your shit out.
So
that's pretty good.
Fun show note here. Like when he started on the blueprint, he starts like writing in pencil, but when he walks into the room and like throws it down like on the table, it's like in blue ink. So the fact that Jack can turn lead into ink is pretty impressive.
Or he's doing that and tracing over it with ink, but that takes a while though. I don't know. Maybe he writes
why would
fast.
you do that though?
Maybe he draws fast.
Fun.
I guess another note. I think after one of this, there's some scene that involves a bunch of O'Neill doing a bunch of typing on a computer real fast, and then it cuts to Hammond in his office writing a report, and he's hunting and pecking. He's on the keyboard. It's I don't know. I just enjoyed that Hammond like hunting and pecking, not knowing how to use a keyboard.
Listen, he's a military man. He doesn't necessarily know how to use a computer.
I saw that.
By the way, it just brings you back to that time when they all self-destructed. You know, get that in real quick.
You got it right then. That's when it mattered.
But yeah, like if I didn't know any better, actually, like the way they were setting this up and how like it resolves itself, like the way that they were, like essentially when they finally solve that problem, and then he hooks up that device, and then he dials in that number, and he's going to go through the gate. It almost seemed like, hey, is he just leaving the show and this is his send off? And that's obviously not what happens, but there's a moment there where you could think like, oh, this almost seems like they're doing a send off for this character.
Yeah, because they're like, hey, you can't come back if you go.
Which, luckily enough, like they just ignore that. But
Yeah, they get around it by the power going out, and I guess they can't close the iris and the power goes out, which that seems like an oversight.
yeah, like a genuine problem.
But yeah, so he does eventually go. He uses the little generator he makes to, I guess, superpower the Stargate. Goes to a different galaxy with the 8th chevron. It's the Asgard galaxy, and the Asgard are there, and they're like, "What?" When it comes through the gate.
Yeah, they all seemed very confused. Also, there seems to be a lot of them just hanging out in this hallway, just like, yo, what the fuck, a human just showed up?
I guess maybe it's like a public thoroughfare or something.
Or
Yeah.
maybe it's
That's
their
the area.
variation of some kind of defense thing in case the Stargate opens. I don't know.
I don't know, but it seems to be in just like a public space.
But it's like
And
it's outside of their galaxy. Do we know how far it's outside of the Milky Way?
nope.
Is this? Don't they go to a different galaxy in Atlantis?
Yep, different. Well, they go to the Pegasus galaxy, which is like a mini galaxy, which is nearby the Milky Way.
Okay, so not this galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
No, whereas the Asgard are further out in a different galaxy entirely. They call it the Ida galaxy.
Is that a real thing?
Probably not.
Hang on, I'm Googling it real quick. No, it's just a Stargate thing.
Yeah. And yeah, it's pretty fun. The Asgard are like, what? What is okay?
What
Yeah,
is
the
this
Asgard
thing
have had
that
a
has
fun year this year, as it turns out.
Yeah, I mean, like between Thor having to drop what he was doing and race over to the one planet to fix their shit beginning the season, and then O'Neill just showing up in their galaxy randomly. Probably like, okay, we have to deal with these Earthlings now. They're getting out of hand. But yeah, there's a big lore dump. The 4 species from the Ernest planet, that was where that fell into the ocean from the cliff.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Ancients, who built the Stargate. You have the Asgard, who we've met.
Mm-hmm.
The Nox, you see, the Nox are important. I told you the Nox are important.
Fuck the Nox. They suck.
And then the Furlings, who don't matter.
They're all furries. No one wants to see them anyways.
We assume you never see any
Very good drawing art.
anything. No drawing. No anything. Just the name.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so O'Neill is really careful with the Asgard puppet when he shakes his hand.
Yeah, which by the way, like this was a good practical effect they had going on.
Yeah,
like this looked impressive.
It's a good puppet
So-
to have.
That puppet didn't have a thumb, right?
Sure didn't.
Or
Doesn't
fingers.
need one.
Yeah, it's a messed up looking hand with like a jewel in the middle.
Mhm.
Who knows?
Which, by the way, real lucky that they could just kind of hand wave away the brain blast.
Oh yeah, just like brain beam him and I guess extract the information. Yeah, that
Yeah.
helps.
Just put on the USB key embedded in your hand.
And be like, oh wow, humans aren't supposed to be doing that, you know.
Yeah, I think they bring that up, which is like, yeah, it's like if I had known, I wouldn't have stuck my head into the thing that almost blew my brain up.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that really the moral of the story? Don't go around sticking your head into strange holes.
Yes,
Again,
I mean,
Teal
you
did
should
it
know
first,
that.
and it was fine.
But
Teal'c's
he's
different.
always fine. He has Junior 2.0 to protect him from anything and everything except for
Almost.
space mosquitoes.
Yeah, which I think they bring that up where they basically say like, hey, maybe that device was designed so that if a Goa'uld was near, it wouldn't activate because they don't want to give this information to the Goa'uld.
And
Yeah.
that makes sense. But you would think at this point they'd be like, okay, nothing works with Tilk.
Except the Bane
should've
bugs,
done
it turns out.
Except bugs.
Yeah, the bugs work.
If Carter
Just-
stuck her face in it, would it have worked?
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
Because Carter had
Oh,
a gel
she
for a little while.
had Jolnar juice.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
The
not.
Jolinar juice, maybe not the
Is that what
best
we're gonna call it?
phrase.
I mean, I don't know.
Which, yeah, no, if you think about it, Jolnar just kind of died in there. Is he still kind of like, is this corpse just floating around in there?
No, Joel dissolved. They said that at the end of that episode.
It's
Like,
just
dissolved
a
slowly
wafer.
over like a few weeks. Yeah, so
Oh,
just
gross.
dissolved it into her system, and so there's just like Joel and R stuff like in her bloodstream and like lymph system, I guess.
Hopefully that's not carcinogenic.
I mean, I mean, everything they do is probably carcinogenic.
Yeah. Can't imagine
I-
interdimensional space travel is good for you.
No, I mean, hey, maybe the Stargate does like the Star Trek transporter thing, where they just like remove the cancer just as a normal screening process.
Mm-hmm.
But yeesh. Oh yeah, so they all live happily ever after, with a bunch of new gate addresses that are not Gould related, because the Abydos cartouche were planets that Ra knew about. So the Gould had been there. That's why they've been going to planets with like former Gould slave populations and whatnot. But this ancient repository goes to planets that the ancients knew about because they built the Stargates, but that Ra did not know about. So we're going to get like a wider variety of I mean, it's still forced of Canada, but we're going to get a wider variety of planets after this.
Yeah, which is cool. Like, that's what you want, right?
Yeah, and that's the really important takeaway from this episode.
Variety is the spice of life.
Yeah, and the Asgard are basically they straight up saying like, "Hey, you're well on your way to becoming the fifth race to ally with us," because I don't know, it almost seems like they think, "Yeah, you guys are pretty cool. You're not there yet, but you're pretty close."
Yeah, they're still too
Okay.
young.
Yeah, you have these cool things called grenades. They're real good at killing Jaffa.
Yeah,
That's good technology.
Yeah, it's not as good as just deleting Jaffa.
yeah, which was pretty effective as it turns out. Yeah.
Yeah, but grenades are good for other things, as we'll see in a couple seasons.
I don't know, man. Like, grenades have a ship kill this season. Hard to top that.
Yeah,
I
well,
guess.
I mean, when you get a critical hit, you get a critical hit, All right, anything else?
I'm not sure, but I feel like this time when we see the Asgard, maybe it's just bad memory, but it seemed more impressive than when we first saw Thor's real form.
Yeah, because Thor's real form was like done as a gag.
Yeah,
Right.
it's just a bunch of gray aliens at this point, which we've seen a zillion times in other media.
Yeah, but I guess maybe just it not having that hologram effect just made it look better. I'm not even sure if it's a
Maybe.
different prop.
Oh, and the guy from who had a crush on Carter and almost died from the Intelligent Virus episode. He's back.
Yes.
I forgot his name. In my notes, I just wrote down as fuckboy, which isn't fair.
I have him down as baby-faced airman.
I see. That's
He's no Greg Jones. Is that the guy's name?
Gary Jones. No, he's no Gary
Gary
Jones. He's no Siler. Speaking of Siler, is everyone ready to move on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
I mean, if I were to say one thing, I'd say this episode's also pretty good, not terrible.
As much as I dislike the first episode of this batch, overall, I think it's actually one of the better batches we've had since starting this. These last three, I think, are pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good run.
I'd agree with that. So, moving on. Season 2, Episode 16, A Matter of Time, where the writers wanted to have a fun time dilation episode and didn't really put in the legwork with their black hole stuff because they dial into a planet near a black hole. The gravity and time dilation come through, and a bunch of time dilation shenanigans happen, and then they have a cool set piece at the end where they blow up a bomb at the gate to turn it off.
This is a fun episode.
Yeah.
I like this one quite a bit. Like I did complain. I didn't complain. I just noted that like their understanding of physics is almost certainly way off. But I don't actually care that much. They do some fun stuff with the plot they've set up.
Yeah.
It's a base infection episode, but there's no sexually transmitted diseases or invasion. It's
I wouldn't call it a base infection. I'd call it a Stargate mishap episode.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Of course, everything boils back to Stargate.
Mhm.
Yeah, what because the base infection is different from the alien incursion, which is different from the gate mishap.
So is this like the second gate mishap episode of this bunch? Because the first gate mishap episode is like, oops, where's the other gate?
Oh yeah, well, and then there's the
sort of.
Antarctic episode, which was a gate mishap episode.
Yeah.
That was also a really good episode.
This one is like the black hole's gravity is coming through the Stargate, and it's keeping the Stargate held open.
Which opening, I think, was like really effective too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is this?
At
Is
first,
this
you
like
don't realize that. Why is everyone talking weird? And it's like, oh.
I mean, I figured it out before they got to the Stargate, because you see the black hole, and then and it's approaching the planet, and you see them running, and it's starting to slow down. And I was like, oh, they're going to do something with black hole like time weirdness, and yeah, that they did as much as they could with the concept, and I think it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a fun episode. Like that's a gnarly setup for an episode.
Yeah.
That's a bad way to go.
I mean, black hole
I'll bring
time
something up later,
dilation is a sci-fi concept. This is something you would expect in a sci-fi show. And I mean, it's not like hard physics, but it's going in the right direction. It's not like space magic.
My understanding of actual time dilation when you get close to a black hole is it starts happening after you cross the event horizon.
Yeah.
Which they don't do.
Yeah, in order for the time dilation to happen, there has to be a strong enough gravity to where you're already dead by that point.
Yeah.
So, in the show notes, I actually addressed this issue. So, say like the sun does turn into a black hole, it's going to have the same mass as it already had when it was a sun. So SG-10 would have had plenty of time to get out of there and even watch it for a little bit.
Yeah, they would have been fine from that distance. If it was just turning to a black hole, as we know now with modern, I guess, physics, that's a weird thing to say for a '90s show. But
well,
as we know now, with modern,
the sun's not turning into a black hole. There's a black hole has entered the solar system.
No. In the script, what they're saying is that it was a binary star system, and one of the stars just turned into a black hole as they were on the planet.
Okay, so in I don't know if we're going to spend a bunch of time picking apart the physics of this, but real quick, when a sun turns into a black hole, it goes supernova. And when a supernova happens, if you're anywhere remotely nearby, even on a cosmic scale, you are dead, especially if you're on a planet nearby. But even if you can see a black hole in the sky, that clearly you are dead. Your planet's being turned into gravel is just...
Yes. So that's the thing, because at the very opening, when they have the CG part, you see the black hole just like barking out like the star matter, and that should have killed everything instantly within like 1,000 AU.
That said, it's an awesome visual. Like that picture that they have on the screen several times, where you see like the black hole in the sky. That's a really cool picture. Just
yeah, and just the guy screaming.
Yeah, no, it's like I don't know. I want that as an album cover for some '90s like grunge. I don't know.
Well, can we do like the Stargate SG-1 OST and just have that be the cover?
Yeah,
it's a good visual. It's a really good visual that they did the bare minimum to justify. Which that's fine, because it's a cool visual, it's a cool effect on the Stargate, it's a fun time dilation plot that they go through on the base. And so even though the actual setup for it is full of holes, just one big hole.
Yeah, a black hole, you might say.
A
Yeah.
black hole, you could say. Everything they do with that is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just need to acknowledge that the actual premise is completely wrong.
Yeah, that's fine.
This show is. I've already said before. I feel like this show is way more space magic than anything at this point, and it doesn't seem like it's interested in going any further than that.
Yeah,
well, let's
exactly.
be honest. They probably don't have the budget to afford like a physicist.
Like Interstellar.
Yeah, that can like fact check.
That's fine.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
But you can't pay me to watch Interstellar, by the way.
No, don't watch Interstellar. There's other
That
reasons
bad.
why that's a bad movie. The black hole stuff is the good part of that movie, and you can just look at clips for that.
Sure.
So one thing I did think this episode did well was early on, Jack's kind of freaking out that he has a team off world that's in a world of shit, and he's chomping at the bit to allow Hammond to go through the gate to go rescue him, and Sam's like, no, they're already dead.
Yeah,
Well-
killing off this team, like, throughout this episode, they don't make it clear if, like, they're gonna have some way to get this team back or not. They actually wind up killing them off, which I didn't expect them to do.
So I don't think I should necessarily bring this up now, but that's not what happens.
Oh, great.
You don't see them
So they're
again in
not
this
dead.
show. You don't see them again in this show, but
Oh, do they show up in
They don't
universe?
Oh no, is that a universe thing?
no.
Oh.
No,
Do
there's
they
a
show up in
novel.
Atlantis. Oh, there's a novel.
There's a
Incredible.
novel
Oh, there's a
that
novel.
harkens back to this episode where they like find a way to go back and save them. And like the bigger part of that story is that essentially it goes back to the time dilation stuff. Like 10 years have passed. For them, milliseconds have passed. They're still like
yeah.
freaking out. So like they find a way to pluck them out, bring them back to Earth, and they're just like, yo, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, I guess once you have like the spoiler to work with, then yeah.
Mhm.
But
But like that's never brought up in the TV show media again. It's just like a novel that they wrote based on the SG-1, which I thought was like a cool like callback if you're gonna write a novel. And
Yeah, 'cause
you're gonna like call back to one of the episodes. I think this is a good one to pull off of.
Yeah, and also like this is like the most fucked up way to kill off an SG team in the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like you get more or less
Like you die in slow motion for 1,000 years or something.
not the way you'd want to go.
No, it's real. Wait, so does that mean the guy at the end who falls through also gets rescued?
No, he's dead.
Oh, he's just dead.
Yeah, because I mean the implication was that when he like fell through and then the bomb happened, like he was just in the blast radius of that, so just super dead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, killing that guy was also fucked up at the end.
Yeah. It seems
Because,
kind of
like-
unnecessary too, but
Yeah.
whatever.
I thought that guy Cromwell showing up. I thought he was going to be a complete asshole. But no, it turns out he was actually genuinely just doing his job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe like a gruff in your face military kind of way, but he did follow orders and he did do his job.
Yeah. And I think
I
it's
felt like-
actually like very funny how like everything unfolds in this. Like they're like spending more or less like 30 minutes trying to figure out what's going on and what they can do, and like days have passed.
Yeah, that's the main gag for the episode, and it's a very effective gag.
And I guess that's like why in the novel that they eventually write based off of this episode that they call back to that, like, yeah, like years have passed, but for these people, they're still like screaming at like this gate, like, how come it's not working, sort of thing, which is like hilarious.
And it also just like an explosion and pieces of a guy came through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I imagine like the gate just opens for like a fraction of a second and they're just like covered in viscera and like, what the fuck? Well, I guess the way they explain it, they don't even have time to react. Basically, like what they would have seen was the gate opening for a fraction of a second, a bunch of viscera smashing them in the face, the gate opening again, and then someone yanking them out of there.
God.
Yeah. But I think all of aside from like the weird bit of, and I'll allow myself to suspend my disbelief here, but like the government more or less sending someone in saying, like, hey, we think we know what's going on to Hammond. It's like, wow, you know what's going on? Sure, whatever. Like,
oh, that's
the
Davis.
whole like,
that's Major Davis.
Yeah.
This is our first Major Davis appearance.
Yeah, it is.
Yay! Major Davis is here.
You like Major Davis? See a good recurring character?
Yeah, so he's going to fill a similar role as Samuels, but he's actually competent and not an asshole.
He's not a
that's
complete asshole. Like, he seems like somebody that's competent at his job, and he's not afraid to raise questions or issues.
Yeah, like he's competent and not an asshole, and he's the only Pentagon guy in the entire show who's both competent and not an asshole.
So this is his introduction, basically.
What's that?
This is his introduction, basically.
Yeah, because he's the one that meets Hammond at the top of the elevator. He's like, yeah, we figured out what was going on, like, yesterday, because you've been out of contact for several days now. So, that's fun. Be on the lookout for Davis.
Yeah. Really just all of the bits where people are just trying to contact the people on the inside. I think they did that all really well.
Yeah, because by the time, like, what was it, Cromwell? And, like, his Spec Ops team get in there. Because yeah, he's saying it's been 5 hours since last contact. Maybe there's an alien incursion again.
Yeah.
So we're going in.
Yeah, and the people in there are just like, no, like they were talking over the radio like maybe like 4 hours ago, but they were talking real slow. It was weird.
Yeah. And then Hammond just strolls in and be like, 5 hours. I've been to Washington and back in 18.
Well, yeah, because for him, he goes into the time dilation, and then he's slowing down too. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Which, by the way, this is like one of the first times they use some really low res stock footage of Air Force One.
Oh,
it's
right,
very funny.
Yeah.
So it's very clear that like this was just shot on like the worst camera available, and just they recorded it on a VHS tape. Like, okay, sure, you can find a better shot.
That's pretty good. They could at least use the same B-roll that West Wing used. Oh well.
Well, they might have. Just I think they recorded on VHS.
But yeah, so we get a bunch of recurring characters here. Like this Davis, first time he's here, we get a bunch of Sergeant Seiler. We get the baby-faced airman back again.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, and we even go to the electrical closet for a second episode in a row.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, go off. I'm expecting this.
So real quick, one issue I do have with this episode is why don't they tell Teal'c and all the other people who are near the Stargate to get away from the Stargate before they go messing around with the power? Because the first thing I thought of was, indeed, why don't they just pull the plug on the Stargate? And of course they do that in the plot. But when they go and try to turn off the power to the Stargate, it sparks and hurts somebody standing next to O'Neill. And it also hurts several people in the room with the Stargate.
The gate room.
And why didn't they tell them to get away from the Stargate before going to go do that?
I'll just chalk it up to them being very worried about the black hole being sucking everything through the Stargate.
Because they're all doing everything very quickly there, because it's a matter of minutes since they connected.
And wasn't there like a time dilation factor happening actually in the gate room?
Eventually,
eventually, but by that point there was not any time dilation. But even then, it wasn't, in the context of the show, the time dilation wasn't so significant that you couldn't walk into the gate room and say, "Hey, you need to leave."
Yeah, though they do eventually start showing scenes where people in the gate room are talking towards the people in the command room, and you could tell like they're coming through slower, which I thought was like a cool.
Yeah.
Cool thing they did.
Which that's cool, but like if the person standing next to the gate is just getting time dilated in front of your eyes, you should tell them to leave.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. I would not stand next to that Stargate with the black hole on the other side.
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing I wanted to bring up. Like, after they turn off the power and the gate doesn't shut off, like, doesn't Carter mention, like, oh, it must be the black hole that's powering the Stargate now?
Yeah.
Like, last time I checked, I don't think black holes act as a battery. Do I have that wrong?
They
I'm pretty
emit
sure-
a ton of radiation.
I'm not a scientist. I have no idea.
Okay.
Don't worry about
It feels more like just an excuse for them to say, like, hey, why don't you just turn the power off? And then saying, well, we can't because we tried and it didn't work.
Yeah, that part felt a bit forced.
The black
Mind you, their
hole
actual
was-
solution was...
Real quick. The black hole was absorbing another star, which has plenty of energy.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
and black holes barf out most of what they eat, so
just like in
you
Andromeda.
can't live it. Just like in Andromeda.
You mean Mass Effect Andromeda?
No.
Oh, if only. If only.
But yeah,
But
I think
yeah.
their actual solution to this is just explode it, but from real close. Very funny. I
Yeah,
guess
they take
very-
they take the same plan the U.S. government has, and then they're like, yeah, okay, we want to do that, but we want to do it closer.
I
Right,
love
which-
how, yet again, the Air Force's solution is, let's hit it with a bomb.
yeah.
So
I mean, it worked. So
most accurate portrayal in the show.
yeah, just explode it.
And it works.
And all it does is cost the life of what's his face,
Cromwell.
Cromwell.
Yeah.
Which I feel like they were setting him up to be like a recurring character, but yeah, he ain't coming back. He's super dead.
Yeah, no, he's extremely dead.
He's
Yeah,
giga dead.
He took a nuke to his everything.
It
Yeah.
wasn't a nuke, it was just a bomb. Like a big bomb.
Yeah.
That's what Doctor is all that was.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I love that scene when they're like in the control center and they're talking about the plan and how it's going to take days for Tilk to get back with the bomb, and then he just holds up and he's just casually holding the explosive in his hand like it's a birthday cake. It's
Oh
like,
yeah,
no,
yeah. He just carries it down the elevator and walks in with it.
hey guys, they just gave me this bomb. Let's go blow up this black hole.
But the whole reason for this episode is one, to have the swirly Stargate effect, which is fun, like the toilet flush.
Yeah.
Effect.
Yeah, when they pan the camera down to behind the Stargate to show the thing you're talking about, I think that's actually a really shot as well.
That was
Yeah,
good.
Actually, even the shot when the glass breaks in the command room and you see it like slowly heading towards them, they had a lot of real cool effects in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really
like
starting
the whole like sideways repelling gag at the end was really cool, and that's why they did the episode, so they could do.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of. I think this is an episode where the stars aligned, and they kind of just everything just kind of worked out right.
Yeah.
Like you, as long as you're willing to accept the complete misunderstanding of black hole physics, they do everything they could with this plot about as well as they could have done it.
Yeah, they do. Like that dog, like that bit with the dog tag, that Carter, when Carter loses her dog tags into
Yeah.
Stargate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which also the implication is that those would have shot out and then just been moving really slowly towards the other team.
It's
Yeah.
teleportation, yes. Like a fraction of a second before on Viscera.
I mean, by that point, they had already resigned themselves to that team being dead. So
Yeah.
Yes, which I think like as like I think as a side plot of them trying to give O'Neill some character growth here too, like that was all kind of cool.
Yeah,
I
it
think
was
done very
weird
well.
at the beginning where everyone's talking about, oh yeah, Major Boyd. Yeah, we all know Major Boyd. Everyone likes Major Boyd.
Yeah,
Major
like
Boyd,
we
yeah, he's
recommend him to
around
be
the whole
part of this
time.
team. He's real smart, and he's dead.
Yeah, that's always an awkward thing to do when writing.
At least he knew enough that black holes are bad, and he needed to get him and his team the F out of Dodge.
Yes. Which, I mean, for the most part, if I saw a black hole, I'd be like, yeah, we need to go.
Like, if you saw a star explode and somehow not kill you in the sky, you'd be like, yeah, we're getting out of here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's good leadership.
Yeah.
Really just a case of wrong place, wrong time.
But yeah, so some good lines in this episode. Though I also will say that power closet, when O'Neill and Siler are turning off everything, and then Siler gets zapped. The size of those capacitors, if you get zapped by those, you just disintegrate.
Yeah, you're giga dead.
There's like for real. Like I in real life, like this happens sometimes at like power.
Oh no, absolutely, yeah.
For real,
it's like someone who has worked on who has done work on like Ontario power stuff. They have told me stories where it's like, yeah, we get every once in a while we get people coming here to try to steal copper, and all we see is like a black mark on the floor because they touched the wrong thing.
Yeah, like you're just gone.
Mm-hmm.
So Saller should be the most dead, but he's actually works on the show, so they want to keep him around, so he's not dead.
Yeah, which they do like. They show him later being evacuated too. They make a point of that.
Well, the thing is, he's evacuated, and then he comes back because it's been like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and he's recovered. He's fine now. Like he's the one that feeds the rope down to the Stargate.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a fun time dilation gag, like in the background. Oh, there is a fun line when Cromwell shows up towards the beginning to infiltrate the facility, and he's talking to that guard who says that they before communication cut off, things were funky to him, and he goes very seriously, says, "What exactly does funky mean, Sergeant?" And it's
that is a good line.
That's pretty funny.
I like the scene where Carter she's no longer in the base. She's like on that outpost they set up on top of the mountain. She's like doing like math stuff, and some airman comes up to her with like a coffee and a box of donuts. And it's like, imagine being the guy, the world is ending, your entire existence about to get sucked into like a black hole, and you're the guy that's in charge of giving other people donuts.
I mean, that's just being an E1.
Yeah.
Listen, the world's about to end, but you still got to do your job.
Again, that's just being an E1.
I love how she picked up the donut, looked at it, and then just put it back.
And then, like, licked her finger afterwards. It's like, come on.
Like,
what's
I guess
she
doesn't want to look at another hole, or...
Oh. You had to go there.
Oh, no. Black hole, donut hole.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
Actually, that whole thing led to the bit with like Teal coming and saying like, "How can I assist?" And she's like, "Do you know anything about like quantum, like whatever the heck?" And he's like,
"Gravity is what she says." It's like a pause.
I do not. He's like,
"No, there's a pause there." Yeah. Where they stand there from when she looks at him. He goes, "I do not." Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, "I don't think I do either." It's like, oh well, shit. But yeah, I mean, I guess that all just straight up leads to like, yeah, I guess we got to blow it up, but just like target blow up. Sure.
Yeah, like don't nuke the mountain because you'll just bury it. It'll eat the planet.
Yeah.
Instead, you like set off that charge right in front of it to like, I guess, force shut off.
Yeah.
Well, what it was supposed to have done is activate the other Stargate, because that's what happened when we found it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You feed it enough energy, and it kind of just jumps to the Stargate. And then they go, now it's somewhere normal. We can just turn it off normally.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, once again, this was just another one of those like callbacks to another episode, which I thought was cool. Like, yeah, the solution is that time we got blown to Antarctica.
Okay. Anything else?
I mean, there's one thing. I think it's very funny that the very previous episode they were like, yeah, we're sealing the iris shut permanently of this other Stargate. We're going to keep it under lock and key. Like, it'll never be able to be used again because we sealed it permanently. And Hammond, in this episode, the very next episode, is we'll build a new command with the other Stargate that we sealed permanently, like yesterday.
I think the permanence of that seal is not very permanent, I think.
I guess. It's just very funny.
That's just to make it really hard for assholes to go and like use it covertly.
Oh yeah, rest in peace, original Iris. That thing got crumpled up like a soda can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That thing's gone.
Which I do believe that they bring up once again, that they're going to make another out of that material that they found.
Out of trinium.
Yeah.
It's almost like the writers are like, hey, we could just use the things that we've done before. Let's do that now. Let's pay attention to what we're writing.
See, I told you trinium would be important.
Yeah. I would like to know where the hell they're getting it from.
Don't worry about it. But don't worry about it.
It just happens to be they happen to find some before and it was sealed forever.
Or maybe it wasn't sealed forever. Maybe it's like SG-9, like their diplomat SG team went in, smoothed things out. Like, yeah, just like give us like a few pounds, like a month.
Listen, we're doing the democratic thing. We're exchanging whoppers for trinium ores.
Okay, so they what you're saying is they deploy Burger King. Got it. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. We'll give you Burger King if you give us this rare element.
Yeah, is that where like the guy from that episode is like, oh man, if you give me this, I'll agree immediately.
The solution is always a flame broiled Whopper.
Yeah, with cheese. Come on, you gotta have cheese.
Well, that goes without saying.
Costs extra, those sons of bitches.
Okay, so aside from Burger King diplomacy, anything else?
Good stretch of episodes. Lack of nade yeeting, but that can be forgiven.
They yeeted a nuke.
It wasn't a nuke.
What are you complaining about? Or a giant fucking bomb.
They lowered it on a rope. It's really not the same thing.
Yeah, but what
you're saying is you wanted Teal'c to literally throw it at the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have been fun.
It would have been a cool fact.
You know, he just kind of like holds it up, lets it go, and it slowly falls towards.
Just shot puts a nuke.
Yeah.
I mean, he could.
He probably could. But yeah, I think that, I will reiterate what Tyler said. I think this is a good, aside from maybe the first one, this is a good batch of episodes.
And we're also in 1999 now, in terms of releases.
All right, well, that's cool. I would say, like, my one qualm with this episode is that I think they kind of wasted what's his face as a character? Cromwell. Yeah, I think they did a good job, like, setting him up, giving him, like, ties with O'Neill. I think having him stick around for a little bit as a recurring character every once in a while would have been cool, but it is what it is.
Nobody with ties to O'Neill gets to stick around for more than an episode or two.
I guess.
Yeah.
Not his wife.
His ex-wife.
Kid.
Well,
Walski.
Walski.
Make it a
Cromwell.
A couple times.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for the batch of episodes.
Yep.
And now that we're done with that, we're going to move on next time to the next 4 episodes. So yeah, we actually had, like, other than that first one, we had like a good batch this time. And I'm bringing that up because next time we are going to watch episodes 17 through 20 of season 2. And these are Holiday, Serpent Song, One False Step, and Show and Tell. Yeah. We're going to watch those.
Is this a good batch?
Only time will tell. Only time will tell.
All right. Well, let's wrap up.
Yep. All right. So this has been Chariots of the Pods, part of the Deep Listens podcast network. You can find Deep Listens over at deeplistens.libsyn.com. I think that's what it is. Or on the RSS feed you're listening to this on, probably. The main podcast, called Deep Listens, is like a book club, but for video games. That's where the main crew play video games, talk about them every 2 weeks. There's also Off the Deep End, a podcast about grungy old RPGs or grungy new RPGs, depending on the week, or I guess the month. It's a monthly show, kind of. There are also occasionally sports podcasts, The Football, starring myself and Tyler, along with Gino from the main podcast, called The Amateur Hour. It's also occasionally basketball podcasts when that's in season. I don't know about that. There's a ranking of deck builders. There's like a Final Fantasy thing that happens every once in a while. There's a good variety of podcasts on this RSS feed. There's also a Patreon at patreon.com/deeplistens. For $1 a month, you can join the Discord and talk to us, tell us how wrong we are about black holes. Actually, you know what? Join the Discord and explain black holes to us, please. We want to know. And also the movie Black Hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the board game Black Hole.
And board game Black Hole. And if you donate at $3 a month on the Patreon, you get access to the secret bonus podcast, the OG Soncast, about anime from like 20 to 30 years ago, roughly. I have no idea what they're watching. I'm not involved in that. As for us, you can find me, your host, Adam, at 5thgengaming.blog, which is a website I have where I review video games from the 90s on the 32-bit consoles. I also stream at twitch.tv/5thgenerationgaming. You see, I remembered it this time, Justin.
Awesome. Only after getting through a season and a half of podcasts.
It just took 10 episodes, yes. Does anyone else have plugs they want to do? No?
I'm not particularly. I don't stream regularly enough to plug anything.
Okay, well,
I keep saying I'll stream, but
all these guys stream on Twitch sometimes under the names Grab, Jatsu, and what is that? Is it Jatsu84, then Justin R258?
Justin something. I don't remember. I don't stream enough to remember.
Where am I? I don't know.
I don't know where I am anymore.
I feel like the guy caught in the time dilation just outside of the gate with the black hole with like viscera about to hit me in the face. Unfortunately, his mouth's open. Right? Like we all saw that photo.
He stands in front of the gate. The dog tags come through, hits him in the eye. He's like, "Oh my!" All of a sudden, he gets like hit with viscera with his mouth open.
Yeah.
I can't do this anymore. We're gonna have to go.
All right.
Okay. Goodbye, Internet.
Good night, everybody. Viscera time.